XLOOKUP is one of the most important formulas in all of Google Sheets and Excel, pretty much any spreadsheet that you're going to use. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do 10 XLOOKUP challenge questions. And these questions will range from beginner to advanced. And this is in Google Sheets. Most of these will still work in Excel, but we're doing this in Google Sheets because that's what I prefer and that's what I use on a daily basis. So the first thing you want to do is download these challenge questions so you can pause, try them out yourself before I give you the tutorial. And the instructions are simple. Expand each question in the XLOOKUP challenge by clicking on the plus to the left of the question, and then write the formula in the box designated for formulas. Whenever you finish the formula, it's going to compare to the answer, and if it's right, it will be right. If it's wrong, it will be wrong. And by default, this won't be editable, so what we'll need to do is click on File, make a copy, and we need to add a name, so we'll say XLOOKUP Challenge, and make a copy. Perfect, so now we have an editable version. We don't need the instructions anymore, so we can click on this little minus button, and that will hide the instructions. The grade will grade however many you have correct out of all 10. And let's start with number 1. For the first question, we want to use XLOOKUP to find the department for employee ID 103. So right here you can see we have all the different IDs, we have the employees, and we have the department. And then we have employee ID right here, so we can reference the cell instead of having to type it in. If you get stuck, you can click on this checkbox right here and it will show you a little hint. So we want to look for an exact match. And now we're ready. So right here in the formula box, we'll type equals XLOOKUP, click on the search key, which will be employee ID 103, put a comma, and then we have all of our IDs. That will be our lookup range. And then we want the department. So we're going to select C8 through C11 and press enter. And as you can see here, it looked up 103 and it returned marketing. And that's exactly what we want. Perfect, easy enough. So let's go to number 2. In number 2, we want to use XLOOKUP to find the revenue for MAR, and MAR is short for March. And this is why XLOOKUP is so much better than VLOOKUP, because it does either VLOOKUP, which is vertical lookup, or HLOOKUP, which is horizontal lookup. You can do both with one formula. So we're going to type equals XLOOKUP, select MAR, or you can type it in with quotes, put a comma, our lookup range is going to be all of the months, put a comma, our return range is going to be all of the amounts, and press enter. And we get 58,000, which is exactly what we want for March. And it's as simple as that. For number 3, we want to use XLOOKUP to find the price for the product code that contains 456. So it's not an exact match, so we can't use that first one. We want it to populate if it contains 456. So we have 456 right here, and we want to return 2450. We have that product code right here. And for this, we want to use a wildcard. So if you were to click right here, we'll do a wildcard match. And I'll show you how to do it both ways. We'll type equals XLOOKUP. Instead of using the product code right now, we'll put quote asterisk 456 asterisk quote. So the two asterisks on each side means that 456 can appear anywhere in that text string. So we'll put a comma. The lookup range is right here, and the return range is right here. Now, if we were to press enter, it's going to have an NA error, and that's because it's looking for the exact string star 456 star. We don't want that. Instead, we're going to put a comma. It says missing value. We don't need that. Put a comma, match mode. If you were to scroll down here, it says match mode 2 for wildcard match. So we're going to go ahead and put a 2 and press enter. And now it's going to recognize that those stars are not a text, but actually a wildcard in this case. So it's looking for 456. It found 456 and it's returning 2450. And that's exactly what we want. Now, if we wanted to make this dynamic, instead of having this text string right here, we can use a join with the wildcard. So I could put quote, asterisk, quote, ampersand, and then I'll select the cell that contains the product code that we want to audit. I'll put another ampersand, put quote, asterisk, quote, and press enter, and it's going to work the same way. The difference is, instead of it being a fixed value, if this updates to 123, it's going to update find 123 instead. So it's more dynamic and better in my opinion. So the only difference is that you're joining the asterisk with the contents of the cell instead of putting the cell right there in one text string. Question 4, we want to use XLOOKUP to find the grade for 85, and we want to return the next smaller grade. So for example, right here, we have 80, we have 90, we don't have an 85, but if you score an 85, then you get a B on that test. So we want to return the next lower grade. So for this, we want to do a relative match. So we'll type equals XLOOKUP. I'll select 85. The lookup range will be the scores. Then we'll put a comma and the grades will be the return range. Now, if I were to press enter, we'll get nothing. If this was going to be a 90, for example, this would work because it's an exact match, but we want a relative match instead. So instead of closing it out right there, we're going to go a little bit further. So missing value we don't need right now. Instead, we want match mode. And just like last time with the wildcards, we can do a -1 for an exact match that is lower, or a +1, which is an exact match that is higher than the search key. So in this case, we want lower, so we'll simply put a -1 and press enter. So now it's going to recognize that 85 is between 80 and 90, and it's going to return this value because it's the next lower. Challenge number 5, we want to use XLOOKUP to find the weight of 3.5 and return the next larger weight. So just like last time where we had the smaller, it's going to be the exact opposite where we want the larger. So 3.5 is between 1 and 5. We want it to return 12 instead of 5. So we'll type equals XLOOKUP, select the search key, put a comma, we'll select the weights, put a comma, and we'll select the costs. Now, just like last time, we need a match mode, but this time we want larger. So instead of -1, we're simply going to put 1. And just so you know, 0 is technically the exact match, which is what we did for the challenge 1, but it defaults to 0 if nothing is selected for the match mode. So you don't actually have to put it in there unless you want to for whatever reason. But in this case, we want 1 because that's the next larger value. And let's press enter. So now we have 12. 12 is exactly what we want. All right, back half of the challenge, we have challenge number 6. Use XLOOKUP to find the most recent sales amount for widget. And you can see we have 2 widgets right here. So we want to find the sales price of the second widget. By default, it's going to start from the top down. So if there's multiple for XLOOKUP, it's going to only return the first time it hits, and it won't look any further. So in this case, instead of starting from the top down, we want to start from the bottom up. So let's go ahead and press equals XLOOKUP. Our search key will be widget. We'll put a comma. We'll select our products, put a comma, and we'll select our sales. We'll put a comma. Now, we don't need anything for missing value, and we don't need anything for match mode. Instead, we need something for search mode, because instead of searching from the top down, we want it to be the bottom up. And for that to work, we simply need a -1, so that way it searches from the bottom up. So we'll put -1 and press enter. And you can see that the most recent widget is 300. So that's exactly what we want. For challenge 7, we'll use XLOOKUP to return out of stock if a product is not found. So you can see right here we have ID 1005, and that doesn't exist in our lookup range. So with VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP, you'll run an error because it doesn't exist. XLOOKUP allows you to handle missing values directly inside your formula, which is another reason why it's so much better. You don't need to have any if errors or anything like that. It's simply going to be embedded into the formula. So we'll type equals XLOOKUP. Select our search key, put a comma, we'll select our different IDs, put a comma, and we'll select our different stocks. Now, if I were to press enter, we'll get that NA error that you're used to seeing with VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP or whatever. But we have a built-in function, so I can put a comma and it goes to missing values. If I were to press enter right here, it's simply going to be blank, and that's because there is no message that I'm putting. It's just saying that if there's an error, make it blank. Instead, I'm going to say out of stock and press enter. So now if there is a missing value, so 1005 is not in the range, it will be out of stock. But if I had a value that was there, so for example, 1001, instead of it being out of stock, the actual XLOOKUP would execute. So this is a great way to be able to tell if something is there and flag an error if it's not. All right, we're getting a little bit more advanced here with challenge number 8. So we're going to use a two-way XLOOKUP formula to find the amount for product B in the South region. Now, a lot of people use index and match for this type of use case, but honestly, I never use index and match. It's not needed in my opinion. Why use 2 formulas when you can use 1? So I use XLOOKUP for pretty much everything. So here we have our products A, B, C, we have North, and we have South. So we want to look up vertically to see product B, and we want to look up horizontally to see South. So we want to return 250, which is right there. So we'll type equals XLOOKUP. Our search key for the product is going to be B. We'll put a comma, and I'll select all of the search keys. And make sure for this one specifically, it has to only be the data, not the header. We'll put a comma. Now this time, instead of having the return range be a single column, we're going to use another XLOOKUP formula to determine which column we should be returning. So I'm going to put XLOOKUP, select South, which is the region, put a comma, and then we're going to select all of our headers that contain the region's names. Then we're going to put a comma and select all of the different data possibilities it could be, and press enter. So you can see right here we have 250. So what this is doing is it's looking up column B right here, and it's saying that this is true. Then it's looking up South right here, and it's saying this is true. and then it's returning wherever both trues meet. So this wouldn't work because this is a false and then a true. This is a false and false, and so forth. So the first time it both is accurate, the first time it's both true, that's what's going to return. Challenge 9, we're going to use a single XLOOKUP formula to find both the name and the role for ID 56. So we'll type equals XLOOKUP, select the ID, put a comma, and then we'll select all the different IDs for the lookup range. And then this time, instead of selecting only one column, we're going to select all the different columns that it could have a result for. And when I press enter, you can see that we have both BMOS and manager, which is both columns associated with ID 56. And that's exactly what we want. Now for challenge 10, this is another one that is advanced and a lot of people don't know how to do this, but it is super beneficial to know how to do. We want to use XLOOKUP with multiple conditions to return the profit for Q1 in 2026. So you can see right here, we have 2025, 2026, 2026, and we have Q4, Q1, Q2. We only want to return whatever profit it is when both of these conditions are true. So if it's 2026, but it's Q2, we don't want that. We want it to be both. So we'll type equals XLOOKUP. For the search key, instead of having an actual one of these values, we're going to put 1. The reason why we're putting 1 is because on a binary scale, 1 is true, 0 is false. So it's another way of saying true. So we'll put a comma, and we're going to put array formula. Now, array formula is kind of similar to how I explained it for the product B in South. It's basically looking up all the different values and determining if it is a true or a false, and it's aggregating those values into one value. So we're going to say array formula, we're going to put another open parentheses, and we're going to say when the year is equals to 2026. We'll close the parentheses, and you can look up here for the formula. It's a little bit easier to read. So we have one condition right here. So where the year is equal to 2026, we're going to multiply that, put an open parentheses, and we're going to say the quarter is equal to Q1. We'll close the parentheses once to close that parentheses for the quarter match. And then we're going to close it one more time to close the parentheses for the array formula. Now all we have to do is select the lookup range just like normal and press enter. So we have 52,000 for Q1 in 2026. Now, how this works is it's going to look up where A90 through A92, so the year is equal to E90. So this would be false, this would be true, this would be true. And then the star acts as a multiplier. So that means an and. So that means that when this is true and this is true. So it's multiplying those together and aggregating them. So for the second condition, we're doing B90 through B92 is equal to E93. So this one right here would be false, this would be true, and this would be false. And the first time both of those records are true, that's what it's going to return. So if this was above it, this one was below it, even though 2026 was true, the quarter is false, so that's not going to populate. Instead, it's going to only populate if both conditions are true. Feel free to play around with these, try those formulas again if you didn't get them the first time. Once you master these, you're pretty much mastering most of what you do on a daily basis in spreadsheets, at least for a lot of positions. And it's a great skill set to learn. If you have any questions that pop up, make sure to drop those down in the comments. If there's any other challenges you want me to create that are similar to this, let me know. If you want to learn more about XLOOKUP, other XLOOKUP formulas I did not cover in this challenge, I have intro tutorials showing exactly how to use XLOOKUP from the ground up, as well as advanced formulas that go all the way to looking up from an entirely different spreadsheet. Let me know if you have any questions and like and follow for more.